those F-150s, my God, I'm going to die before they sell all those vehicles.
2 weeks ago, we saw your comments. You wanted to see the fastest and slowest selling cars for your city and your state. And you know what, Pops? We delivered. Tens of thousands of people asked us to create the fastest and slowest selling cars in their states and cities. And we have it back at caredge.com/fastest and caredge.com/slowest. You ready to break down some of the data, Pops?
This is just hard to imagine that less than 2 weeks ago, people said, hey, can you do this? And as a company, we could react this quickly to be able to give the people what it is that they want. Just incredible.
All right, here's an example, Dad, we have in Denver, Colorado. You can see here the fastest selling vehicle in Denver, Colorado has a 1 day's supply. Okay, it's actually two vehicles have a single day's supply. The Toyota RAV4 and Subaru Crosstrek each have a 1 day's supply. That's because there's one for sale, yet in the past 45 days, 52 RAV4s have sold in Denver, Colorado, the 2024s, and 31 Subaru Crosstreks, the 2024s, have sold in the last 45 days. So when we do fastest and slowest selling cars nationwide, it doesn't really give the full picture of what's going on here in Denver, Colorado. This data is insane, man. A single day's supply for those two vehicles.
So as a shopper in Denver, you can know before you start whether it makes sense to be considering a RAV4 or a Crosstrek at the moment. And I would say, looking at this, you'd probably want to wait until inventories build up again, because ain't nobody going to give you a deal when there's only one to be had.
Yeah, the numbers here are just like eye-watering. Look at the Kia EV6 down there. We know that automakers in advance of a new president coming into office, President Trump, are trying to push EVs while there are those incentives and those subsidies from the government. 86 Kia EV6s have sold 2024s in the past 45 days, yet there are only 9 sitting on dealer lots in Denver. So again, insane data that you get here. On the flip side, Dad, we have the slowest selling vehicles in Denver, Colorado right now. And look at that, number one on the list, the brand new model year 2025 Ford F-150. There's a 2,000 days supply because there's 45 for sale, yet only one has sold in the last 45 days. The numbers here are also shocking because of how large they are. A lot of these are the new model years turning over. Inventory starting to land on dealers' lots, and they just haven't sold many of them yet. The Nissan Sentra has a 1,228 days supply for the 2025 model year. And then look at the 2023 Ford F-150 sneaking in at number 3, Dad. A 1,215 days supply because there's 27 for sale, yet only one is sold in the last 45 days.
So in other words, if you want a deal, these are the type of vehicles that you could look at in the Denver market and be able to get a deal on. Might not be the same cars that you could get a deal on, say, in Houston, Texas, but in the Denver market, these are the vehicles that you could go in and you can negotiate the best possible savings.
And look at that, folks. Number 1 and number 3 are those Ford F-150s, 2 model years apart. The average selling price is $72,000+. That is hard to fathom, to say the least. Now that we also have this broken down for used vehicles as well. So we're still in Denver. We're not going to Houston, Texas quite yet, but you can back at caredge.com/fastest. Dad, now we're looking at used vehicles, the fastest selling used vehicles in Denver, Colorado. And this is so interesting. Number 1 fastest selling used vehicle in Denver, Colorado is the 2023 Ford F-350 Super Duty. It has a 6 days supply because there's one for sale, yet 7 have sold in the last 45 days. An average transaction price there, as you can see, of over $60,000. Then the Kia Sorento, the 2019 Kia Sorento, and 2014 Subaru Outback as well, with a 6 and 8 days supply respectively. So you can use this not only for new cars, but used cars as well. These are your fastest selling in Denver, Colorado, used vehicles.
Love it. I love the granularity of the data. It is just really gives you hands-on what it is you need to know so that you can figure out whether or not there's room to negotiate.
All right, now let's look at the slowest selling used cars in Denver, Colorado, and then we'll move to a new city. And again, you can access this for free. Thank you again to everyone who on our last video told us they wanted this. It inspired us to work really hard to deliver it really quickly. caredge.com/fastest or caredge.com/slowest. Number 1 slowest selling used vehicle in Denver, Colorado is the 2024 Ford F-150. This is fascinating. A 990 days supply, 22 for sale, yet only one has sold in the last 45 days. Shocker, Dad. People don't want to be buying 2024 used F-150s when there are still 2023s, 2024s, and 2025 new ones on the dealer's lot. That is interesting.
Well, what's even more interesting to me is the Bronco Sport, and the Bronco was, such a sought-after vehicle. Well, that's the number 2 slowest selling used vehicle in the Denver area. Go figure.
And then the BMW 3 Series, all of those 2024s, even the GMC Terrain there is a 2024, and it's only until we get to number 5 with the BMW X5, it's a 2015. So a lot of newer used vehicles in Denver, Colorado are not selling fast right now. Such great market intel for people in Denver, or obviously go use the damn tool yourself for your city.
Yes.
But for people in Denver, this is great market intel. If you're thinking about buying a Ford F-150, you might be able to get the best value and have the most negotiability by targeting those dealers that have the 22 used ones for sale right now because they're sitting and not selling. That is, we've done a lot when we built this company, Dad. This one is getting me fired up, baby.
Well, and then pit each dealer against the other. And there you go. See how much money you can actually end up saving.
So like you said, Dad, we're in Houston now. We're looking at the slowest selling new cars. And this is just so fascinating. The 2023 Ford F-150 in Houston has an eye-watering 11,453 days supply because there's 509 still for sale, yet only 2 have sold in the last 45 days. So that says everything you need to know about the F-150 market in Houston, Texas. There's a lot of aged 2023s that are still available for sale that dealers are looking to move on from that you can go get a great deal on. Number 2 on this list, it's an aged 2023 BMW X3, a popular vehicle. Both of these are incredibly popular vehicles, but the aged model years are the slowest selling because obviously the 24s and 25s have already hit dealer lots. And then look at that, Dad. Number 3, slowest selling new car in Houston, Texas is the 2025 Toyota Tacoma. 194 of them for sale, yet only 2 have sold in the last 45 days.
I might be headed to Houston for a truck I don't want.
I'm pretty sure folks are going to start using this part of our website to figure out geographically where it makes the most sense to go get their next car deal. This data is fantastic. Fastest selling vehicles in Houston, Texas. The Subaru Ascent is number 1 on the list, the 2024. A single day's supply. Why? Because there's 1 for sale, yet 38 have sold in the last 45 days. Audi moved on from a lot of those Q4 e-trons in January, it seems, because it has a 2-day supply, 1 for sale, 19 have sold in the last 45 days. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 as well. Can't be too surprised with these EVs showing up on the fastest list. This data updates every single day, Pops. So I'm not too surprised because obviously there's a huge push to sell EVs, transact EVs before tax credits, incentive subsidies change. The Ioniq 5 at number 3 here, fastest selling new car in Houston. So let's just pause for a second. Again, this data is available for free back on the CarEdge.com website. I'm proud, man. I'm feeling really good about this, and I can't wait to see what other requests people come up with and how we can make this even better. Tremendous shout out to Jeremy, Siraj, Vishal, Prajakta, and Ranjit for all the work they did to make this happen. Thank you guys so much. Again, share your feedback with us in the comments, and we will keep making this better. Thanks, Dad, as always.